Hello, everyone. This is Justine Shine here. We're going to be talking about creating a mock booking, the who, what, where, when, and why of that. So we're going to focus on, the rationale of a mock booking, why we need to have them, how it supports our business and helps bring in clientele. But we're also going to walk through the process of making one too. So the first thing I would love to hear from everyone in this meeting, in the chat for me, go ahead and put whether or not you currently post mock bookings. Okay, while you're doing that, that's kind of a good segue into our first part of, why do we use these, right? So mock bookings are essentially an example travel itinerary, right? I'm going to show you what one looks like on my own business page, but a mock booking again is just like a quick example of a trip. It has very basic details that gives a client enough information to inquire about that trip, right? So it could be something as simple as here's a 5-night stay at an all-inclusive resort in Cancun, Mexico. You can put the price per person, what's included in that price, and some resort features maybe, okay? And then you always want to have a call to action. The call to action is super important because if you're posting an example trip and someone's interested, they need to know how to get a hold of you to get more information, right? So I always put in mine to book, call, or email, or fill out a request form, something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and share and show you what one of my mock bookings looks like. One thing I will say, excuse me, is that what I'm showing you, you're more than welcome to use the format, okay? I got something in my throat. Sorry, guys. Grab some water. All right, so the format you can definitely use for yourself, okay? But you do not want to copy exactly word for word what I have because it came from a very specific vendor, a very specific set of, search criteria, so to speak, okay? So if you take it and use it for yourself and asks you, hey, what is that? You're not going to know where to book it, okay? So it's very important you come up with your own information. Let me see. I post a lot, so sometimes I have to scroll to find what I'm looking for. So, 1 second. We're getting there. We're getting there. So this is what it looks like when you have Branch Up working for you, and then you also post your own content, right? Oh my gosh. Here we go. All right. So here is an example of an all-inclusive resort mock booking, right, in Cancun. I have my call to action, right? To book, please start by filling out our vacation quote request form. You don't have to have this. I think it's smart to have this if you have a quote form, right? We have it built into our Evo website, but you can also create one on Google Forms or Jotform. There's separate trainings for that you can ask your mentor for. But again, the call to action is super important so someone knows how to get a hold of you, okay? You can have your phone number there and say, please text or please call. You can have your email there. But you want to make sure in this call to action, I didn't have it for this for a specific reason, but make sure you have them say which mock booking they saw, and just so you know what you're supposed to look for them, okay? So we have the price per person, right? I always put what it's based on with number of people in a room. All right. We put all these nice features that might incline someone to
Okay, do you want to eat
something,
something?
right? Everyone wants to stay at a 5-star all-inclusive resort, right? Who doesn't? So I have that here. If there's ever a promotion going on, you'll put that here. So for this resort specifically that I had chosen, they can receive a $300 credit to use during their stay. This is a nonstop round trip flight from a specific airport, right? You always want to quote your mock bookings with travel insurance because then the client's getting the max price. Okay, with travel insurance. If they decide they don't want it and decline travel insurance, then guess what? Their trip is going to be a little less expensive, right? All right, and then we just have a couple resort features here, and I always put price is subject to change based on availability. Now, this part is super important because flight prices change every single day and sometimes every hour, okay? And sometimes promotions end. So you have to make sure that this is listed so that a client doesn't come to you saying, hey, you said this and you quoted me this other thing. Okay, well, here's why, right? So there is that. And then of course we want to have, oh, let me come here. These hashtags, okay? Hashtags are super important for your business. It helps create keywords. So for example, in Facebook, if I were to search vacations with Justine, because I've hashtagged all of my posts, if I were to go to posts, anything with my hashtag in it is going to pop up here, which is amazing. So with our mock bookings, you'll see here, right? A client who searches my business name in Facebook and clicks on post is going to see a mock booking here, which is pretty cool, right? And same thing for all of these other hashtags. I could search all-inclusive resort specialist and this exact post is going to show up. All right, so going back to where we were. Oh no, I have to scroll all the way down again. Sorry, guys. Let's keep going.
Justine, you know you can pin whichever post you want to the top of your page, so that might help
Yes,
you
yep,
find
I know.
easier.
In this case, I just don't want it to be
Yeah,
pinned. Yeah,
gotcha.
but thank you. All right, so we talked about the hashtags and now some good quality photos. I stick with 4 to 5 just so it's not too much to look at, right? And they need to be good quality photos. For this resort specifically, the bottom 3 I was able to get good quality. I pulled this from somewhere else, okay? And so it's now not as great as it could have been. So let's start talking about how to build a mock booking, okay? So a very important thing first off, when you are creating a mock booking, is to consider what type of travel you are going to choose. Okay, because you're going to spend way too much time trying to put together a mock booking if you don't decide on that first. So, if you have a niche within travel, you obviously want to market within that niche. So, for me, I am an all inclusive resort, cruise, and wedding travel specialist. So, all of my mock bookings tend to fall, well, they do, not tend to, they do fall within those 3 categories. Um, so, something I might recommend to you is, if you don't have a niche, this is the time to figure that out, okay? Think about the type of travel you love booking the most, maybe for clients, or maybe the type of travel that you love to partake in. Okay, so for me, I love going to all inclusive resorts and I love booking them. Okay, so that's more so the forefront of my mock bookings. Um, so for those of you in the chat for me, go ahead and put, do you have a niche within travel? Put what it is in the chat box. Okay, and I'm gonna just check out um, this for any questions. So yeah, a lot of people have not started doing mock bookings, okay? And some have tried but need some help. So hopefully this training is gonna get a lot of your questions answered with that, okay? Um, let's see, any other questions here? Oh, so Joseph, you say you've only posted 2 mock bookings because you're not sure how to. Okay, so today's perfect for you to learn that, right? Let's see. Do you say round trip flight from Newark because that is where you are based? That is a very good question, Savannah. So, yes and no. Okay, for me, Newark is probably about 3.5 hours away if I'm being realistic. But I choose that because it is a less expensive airport and it's somewhat close to me. Okay. Um, you want to maybe use an airport that is closer to you, maybe within an hour from you, 2 hours maximum. Okay. Because if you think about it, the way that you're marketing and the way that the algorithm works with social media, there might be people locally based to you that are seeing these mock bookings. Okay. Not always, but maybe most times, especially if you're marketing in person. Okay. So that's that. But it's obviously always going to be a round trip flight. Okay. Let's see. Rebecca, since this is being recorded, where can I find it later? I will send this to the leaders and they will send that out as needed. Okay. So Haley says family travel is her niche. Awesome. Okay, so within family travel, Haley, maybe start to consider types of travel. Okay, not the type of people, but the actual types, like category of travel within that niche. Okay. And then Jada says you specialize in cruises and all-inclusive resorts. Awesome, perfect. So what we're doing today is going to really fit into that well. That's good. Channing, you're going to specialize in Disney cruises, everyday activities, Karima family travel. Same thing as before with the family travel. You still want to find a type of travel, right? Because cruise lines, they have family-friendly ones. All-inclusive resorts, they have adults only, and they also have family-friendly. Um, okay, so there is that. Haven't narrowed it down yet. Okay. Morgan, your all inclusive resorts in Disney. Awesome. So a lot of people say all inclusive resorts or, travel that would tend to go more towards resorts in general. So good. So I'm going to show you Vax Vacation Access and how to do a mock booking with them. Okay. Um, that's why I had asked that question. Try to make it relevant for all of you that are here. So let me get logged in real quick. Let's see. Okay, so Shauna, you're leaning towards cruise, family, and all inclusive. Is that too much? I don't think so because again, those three categories can, well, two, cruise and all inclusive, can fall towards family travel for sure. Okay. Natalie, you're gonna be within the Caribbean. Okay, both resort and off resort. Okay. And then all inclusive, all inclusive, all inclusive. Awesome. Yeah. Guys, all inclusive resorts are super popular. The only kicker with it, with all inclusive resorts, is you need to know your destinations that have all inclusive resorts. Okay. They do not exist in the United States. They used to. There used to be one in Florida with Club Med, but they're closed. Okay. They don't exist anymore. There is one in one of the US Virgin Islands. In my opinion, I don't love it. For some clients, maybe it's a good option, but there's only one that I have found in the US Virgin Islands that is all inclusive. Okay. Um, you're pretty sure that Wisconsin Dells has one. If you could find that and put the link to that resort in the chat for everyone to see, that would be amazing. And then they can check it out. But as far as I know, there isn't any that exist in the US. And guys, you need to remember there's a difference between all-inclusive resort and all-inclusive vacation package, right? So all-inclusive resorts are typically when food, drinks, activities, things like that are all included at the resort, and you don't have to really leave the resort. Whereas an all-inclusive package is going to be, flight, hotel, rental car, things like that paired together into one price and not booked separately. So, rule of thumb with Max Vacation Access for those that don't know, I recommend sticking with Apple Vacation and FunJet Vacation. Okay, the reason being is that, for one, if you book with, let's say, Southwest Vacations, and you do a hotel flight package or just a flight, but a flight's in there somewhere, right? Let's say your client gets to the airport and finds out their flight's canceled or delayed. They're only stuck with Southwest to get onto the next flight and figure out that whole situation. However, if you book with either Apple or FunJet, you kind of have more free reign with airlines. So you can get your client onto a flight sooner rather than later. All right. So for me personally, I use FunJet Vacations. They have really great customer service. All the vendors do, but with Fun, I find that they have great promotions going on as well. So we're gonna do a flight and hotel package. And for me, I'm going to do departing from Newark and then going to, let's see, we're going to do an all inclusive resort. So, I think I'll just pick Cancun. All right. We're going to pick airport code 1. I always typically keep it one room with 2 adults. Okay. If you're doing family travel, I recommend maybe adding 2 children on. Okay. And then in your mock booking, you'll just say for a family of 4, 2 adults, 2 children. All right. In terms of dates for your mock booking, all clients love deposit and payment plan options. Okay. I've never, it's a very low rate of people that don't want a deposit option. Rule of thumb, 2 months to 3 months or more is going to give you a deposit option. All right, so you want to think, let's just say 3 months ahead. So we're in January, February, March. So we'll do mid to end of April in this case. Um, I tend to do 5 nights. I think that's a good happy medium for a vacation. Okay, we got the dates. We're going to add travel protection because, again, we want a quote with that included. And let's see what we can find. Oh. Oh no. Let me make sure I did anything wrong here. Let me do that. Oh gosh. So Vax has been having issues. I know that they're working on it. So let me see if this part will work instead. It was working earlier for me, so we'll see. Okay, so from Newark to Cancun, we're gonna do late April, 5 nights, 1 room, 2 adults in this case. I don't really do much of family travel. I like to do a lot of adult travel bookings. So I'm going to keep it as 2 adults. All right, we're going to add travel protection and see what happens. Yeah, Gail, I know my screen is blurry. Where I live, the internet is not always the greatest, so we're just kind of stuck with what it does. So my apologies for that. Eventually it catches up with itself. This is going to take a minute to think. Joseph Vax hasn't approved you yet, so if I could come back to this later, that would be very helpful. Yep, like I said, I am going to, interesting. I'm going to have this recording uploaded to YouTube. I'll share the link with leaders and they will get that to you. All right. So let's go ahead and build an itinerary. Now, where the heck do we know to start with picking a resort? First of all, right? So I like to filter by lowest to highest price. And then I go even further and do the top 2 ratings. And because we want it to be all inclusive, I'm going to click on that. These experience filters are super helpful to fit within your niche. So for family travel people, you're going to want to click on family. But for me, I almost exclusively book adult only trips, so I'm going to click on that. All right. And then, yes, beach filter is awesome, right? So this is going to pop up with all resorts directly on the beach with direct beach access. All right. So now I'm going to take a look at maybe the top 5 lowest cost places, okay, and just pick a place out of that. I like to focus on these TripAdvisor ratings to help me in that process. All of these are rated sort of the same. Okay, so these 3 we're going to stay away from. No TripAdvisor rating here. Let's see. I've already done this one before. I think I'll pick Rio Palace La America. Okay, all inclusive. So a rule of thumb, guys, with prices of mock bookings, I tend to not go above $2,000 per person. Okay, so for those of you who are newer, the price that you see here in Vax is actually the total price of the trip. Okay, which is amazing, right? 5 nights with flight and hotel, potentially transportation included to and from the airport as well for under $3,000. Pretty amazing, all inclusive. All the food, drinks, activities, and things like that are included. With this resort, we see a promotion, okay, up to $850 in resort credits. This is a really, really great deal. So I'm gonna stick with this one. Okay, if you need to see the price per person, right, it'll be up here. So they have total package price and price per person. So this price here is going to change once we click checkout after we have searched everything else and chosen what we need. So let's keep going here. So for Rio, with mock bookings in general, I tend to pick the lowest room because if they want to upgrade from there, they can, but typically, the lowest one is what I do. So we're going to select that. And then it's going to prompt us to pick a flight. All right, so with this, I tend to, you don't want it to be super early morning when they're leaving, but I like to get people in the airport early in my mock bookings. That's just what I do. Okay, so we're going to we'll pick this one. Because the other thing, guys, is a client isn't always, more times than not, they're not going to book exactly what you have created in your mock booking because it's exactly that, a mock booking. Okay, so they might be leaving from a different airport. They might need to leave at a different time of the day. So this is going to change anyways. All right, so now we're going to pick our return light. Let's try to see if there's a nonstop here. Perfect. This one's great. So we're going to choose this one. Want to stay away from basic economy, okay? Because then they have to purchase their seats, they have to purchase a bunch of other stuff. So trying to get economy or above. All right. Okay, so we have our flight chosen, we have our resort chosen. And in VAX, most times they're going to include the transportation to and from the hotel / airport for you. Okay, but if we go to features, if it's not included, it will show up under this section, even different types of transportation. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep it the way it is because, you know, my client might not even want it. They might want to do something different, who knows? Okay, so we're just gonna keep it the way it is. You can also change the travel protection if needed to a cash refund. It's just more expensive. So for a mock booking, I just do the full travel credit. All right, so from here, we're going to be able to start to piece together our mock booking. So I'm gonna go ahead to my Facebook page and just switch to this. And while that's loading, let me go ahead and check the chat. Let's see. Juliana, would it still be the same that someone over the age of 11 would be considered an adult for flights? Well, within VAX, it'll tell you if you click on child, it will show the age range for that. Okay. So you can check that out there. Let's see, Candy. After we fill out the request form for access, do they send out another email when we are approved? Yes, with VAX they do. Yep. So you need to wait for that. It takes about 4 to 7 days. Savannah, for double occupancy, does that just mean how many beds per room, or they need 2 people to go? So occupancy just means how many people in a room. Okay. Perfect. And then Annie, what is contracted hotel mean? So let's go back and hover over it, and it will tell you. Okay. 1 second. So we'll just hover over that. Okay. Special negotiation rates. It's just a policy type of deal with a resort. Okay. Let me pick what we had before. All right. All right, and we're back to where we were. Perfect. All right, so now we're going to start piecing together our mock booking. All right, so we're going to create a new post, and we just did a 5-night. So we're going to do 5-night all-inclusive resort stay in Cancun, Mexico. All right. And then we're going to do our call to action. So to book, please fill out our vacation quote request form. And then I'm going to go over to, I have mine in my link tree, which is a really, really great tool to put all of your affiliate site links. And then, let's see. And then, of course, your vacation quote form, your Evo website, things like that. Okay, so see here, I have this here. And I recommend putting your quote form at the top if you do choose to use Linktree. Okay, so we're going to do that. All set. All right, and now we're going to put our price per person. So I'm going to go back into VAX, and this is where you're going to want to click check out so that the price is fully up to where it should be. All right, awesome. So we're gonna call it, let's see, rule of thumb, let's say it is like 1649 or less, I just keep it at 1600 per person. If it was 1650 or more, I would round it up to $1,700. Okay, so in this case, I'm gonna keep it as $1,600 per person. So we have an even number. And again, this is based on double occupancy. Right. Price includes round trip flight, all inclusive resort stay, transportation to and from hotel, and cancel for any reason travel protection. I know within VAX that is an accurate statement, right? So you want to double check the travel insurance policy that you are working with in your mock booking and make sure that truly is canceled for any reason, okay? If it's not, just put includes travel protection, okay? And then we're going to put there is a deposit and payment plan available. In this specific case, we're going to say that there is a deposit of, we'll call it $900. And payment plan available. Okay, let's go further down and do a resort features section. By the way, to do bullet points, it is, at least on MacBook, option 8 that will create a bullet point. I'm not sure what it is on PC. If someone knows, please put it in the chat for those who might need it. Okay. Let's see. Jana says, do you recommend to use Canva to present the mock bookings, or is it okay to just post on Facebook as a regular post? I don't bother with Canva, but it does not mean that you shouldn't use it, okay? If that's how you want to present them, that is entirely up to you. Not a problem, right? Just make sure in your post you still include hashtags and a way for people to contact you and all the other pieces and parts that are needed, okay? Let's see, Cherry. Yep, you're welcome, Jana. So, Cherry, so it always automatically offers deposit payment plan. No, okay, only if it's 2 to 3 months or more from the booking date to the travel date. Okay, so let's say someone comes to you today and says, hey, I need to leave in 20 days. Guess what? They probably don't have a deposit and payment plan option because it's way too close to them going on the trip. All right. So yeah, Jai just answered that question for you. All right, so let's keep going. So for resort features, let's go back into VAX and open up, here we go. Open up the resort. We're going to take a look at all of the different inclusions, things like that. So typically in VAX with an all-inclusive resort, you're going to see this all-inclusive amenities section. And basically what I do is I click on this and I just cut and paste it over, okay? Some of these things we don't have to have here, right? So Wi-Fi throughout the hotel, that's pretty standard, so we don't really need to have that in there. I don't think people really so much about that in a mock booking. Turn down service is kind of nice, all right? So we'll keep that there. Let's see. We don't need to have that in there. Let me read through the rest of this. So some of these things we're going to be able to shorten as well. So let's do this. All meals, all food and drinks, actually. All food and drinks included, as well as room service. The thing with our mock bookings, guys, is that we don't want it to be super, super lengthy, all right? We want it to be straightforward, to the point, and as short as possible, but still with all of the information needed. Let's see, regularly refilled minibar and liquor dispenser in, we'll do in room. Let's see. going to get rid of that. Free wellness facility. We're just going to call this free fitness. Free access to fitness center. Turn down service. Free entry to discotheque with drinks included. We don't need that. And then live music shows and Rio Entertainment. I'm going to keep out Rio because in our mock bookings, we don't necessarily want to share what hotel it is all the time because they're going to go try to find it, think that they have a really great deal, but they might be missing a lot of factors, right? So you want them to come to you to get that information rather than going off and searching it themselves, all right? Okay, so we have 5 night stay. We have what type of resort it is. We have where it is. We have our call to action here. We have our price per person, what that price includes, the fact that we can have a deposit option. So I'm going to put, oh, I don't want to do that. Let me go back. That's what I'm looking for. Let me find little dollar sign there. My hope, guys, is that you are also working on a mock booking doing this training, okay? So that any questions you have while you're trying to make one or working on making one, you can put in the chat during this meeting and get help right away, okay? Let's see. Oh, I didn't see a money symbol. That's okay. I will skip it for now. All right, so we have all the stuff, deposit of $900, payment plan available. We have our resort features. Now we're gonna go ahead and add some hashtags. So I always put my business name, okay? This is an all-inclusive resort, so we'll do all-inclusive resort deals. And you know what? I need a pause because I just remembered I forgot to include this here. The promotion that they have here. So back, it talks about this $850 in resort credit. But one thing I will say is you want to make sure the room type that you are quoting has that option, right? So currently selected room, they do have this here, so we can include it. All right, so we get up to $850. To use during your stay. Let's see what other promotions they have. They have honeymoon inclusions, okay. Let's see. I'm gonna put special gift for honeymoon couples upon arrival. And let's see if there's anything else I missed. Exchange privileges. So this is kind of cool. Okay, so guests staying at Riu Palace La America have full access at the resort facilities at, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to reduce this even more than what says here. And we're going to go back and under resort fees put, let's see, we're going to put access to 6 sister resorts. Okay. And I think, yep, I included everything that's here. Perfect. All right, so let me go to the chat real quick. I see that there's some questions, and then we'll keep going. So where does it show the deposit amount? So within VAX, when you click checkout over here, you'll be brought to this window, and if you scroll all the way down, oops, in this gray box, it shows right here, deposit due, and then the amount. Okay, and they'll give you the final payment date as well. All right, so there is that. And then, oh, Cherry, that's that, okay, the Chula Vista Resort in Wisconsin Dells, which is that one all-inclusive that you mentioned. Perfect, awesome. Let's see. What package type are you selecting for an all-inclusive resort? In VAX, it's not a specific type of package I'm putting together. I'm just doing hotel and flight, okay? And in my filters over on the left, after doing my initial search, I choose all-inclusive resort so that I'm only seeing those options. All right. Vicky, you're not sure how the hashtags work. So like I mentioned before, the hashtags are like keywords within your post. It helps boost the appearance, not appearance, the reach on a social media platform of your post, right? So um, you need to keep the hashtags relevant to what we're posting. All right, and we're going to get back to that in a second. Um, yeah, so Savannah, that's a good quick description of it. Good, yes. And you're welcome. All right, so let's come back to our hashtags. Okay, so I'm going to do a hashtag my business name. Okay, hashtag all inclusive resort deals. Hashtag, oh my goodness, let's see, vacation 2023. Okay, that's more of a general. But let's stick with relevant within this post. Let's see, we're going to Cancun, so let's do vacation in Cancun. Okay. I want to put 2 more. I'd say that anywhere between 5 to 8 hashtags is good. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna do all-inclusive resort specialist. And that, whoop. And then because this is a promotional deal, right, I'm going to do travel deals 2023. Okay. Let me see if anyone else has any questions about hashtags. Any questions about hashtags, guys? Or anything so far about mock bookings? We're going to get into the picture part in just a moment. Okay. Diana Liz, yes, of course. Yeah, reach out to your mentor to get help with all of these things. Or your mentor is your first point of contact when you need help, okay? Juliana, are you able to hold a booking for someone in case they need to speak to their spouse first or aren't sure yet? Within VAX, I'm not aware of if you can do that or not. I don't think you can. I haven't found a way to be able to do it. Okay. The way that you could hold it in VAX is by saving the itinerary so you can easily pull it up. But it's not going to lock in the price because, again, flights change all the time. You have to have a deposit to lock in a price or full payment. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so hashtags. Is it okay to use the same ones on every social platform? Absolutely. Yeah. So what you could do is once you create this on Facebook or whatever platform you're using, just copy and paste it and add it to, you can even add it as your post on TikTok with your video. You can post it onto Instagram with your photos. You can also post it on your Google business listing, right, as an update. All right. Let's see. And then Kaylee, can you put more than one mock booking together? Like if you can use Canva for the topic of spring break vacations and have 2 to 3 locations, should you post them together under the subject break or post each location separately? So I recommend, that's a good segue into the next portion of what I was going to talk about. But real quick to answer that, you want to do them separately, okay? And I will explain why after I get this mock booking posted. Cherry, but do they get to pick their seats on these flights if they are traveling with kids? Sometimes VAX will let you choose seats right when you book, and sometimes they won't. It depends on the flight, the airline, a few other things. But immediately after you book, you can send your client the confirmation number for the flights for the airlines, and they can go in and get their seats right away. Or if you wanted to do it for them, you can do that. All right, as long as they don't have to pay for their seats, you should be able to do that for them. So if they are even making payments, they still should be able to take that booking airline confirmation number and pick their seats. Okay. Alrighty. So now we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hashtags. I'm going to leave it at that for time's sake. And now we're going to go back into VAX and get some photos. Now, with VAX, they do not always, oh, you know what? We forgot. No, we did put that there. Okay, never mind. All right, let me click on the hotel. In VAX, the quality of photos is not always the greatest. Okay, it's just not. So what you could do is go directly to the site for this hotel. Okay, so I'm going to do that. because I can already tell the quality here is not great. So let's go ahead and find the resort. We want to make sure we find the actual, okay, yes, here's the right one. All right, awesome. So see here it says see photos of the hotel. We're going to go there and find a good combination of, ooh, that is beautiful. Oh my gosh, my next vacation is in the works. All right, so let's just find a good quality photo of the entire resort, or like a bird's eye view. This is probably going to be the best one. So let me go ahead and save that image. Awesome. Oh, it's popping up as this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take a screenshot. All right. And what I like to do is have a general photo of the resort, one of some of the nice features of the resort. So, you know, people really love to see their view of the beach, maybe, what it would be like to sit in the pool, things like that. So let me actually sift through these and just make sure I pick the right ones that I want. Honestly, this is probably the longest part. I try to be picky with my photos, but ooh, this could be kind of nice, the spa. I'm actually going to use this. All right, someone might want to get away as a nice relaxation trip. So we'll use that. All right, so I have 2 pictures of the resort. Maybe we'll find one more of it. And then we want to have some pictures of the room type that we have. Okay, so let me, all right, let's use this one as well. All right, awesome. So let me go back into Vax and see if they have any pictures of the exact room that we just picked. Junior Suite, awesome. So they do have this. And hopefully it will download the correct way. Let's see. Yes. Okay, great. So there is that. There might be 1 or 2 other good photos in here that are quality I could pick. So let's see. No, no. Well, maybe of this restaurant. You can pick that. All right, so those are a few photos. Let me go back to Facebook and upload those. All right. Oh, why isn't it? Oh, there we go. All right. So all my photos are here. All right, awesome. We're gonna edit all just so that I can move these around in the order that I want. I put the photos of the room last just so that I can get an idea of the actual resort first. There, and then we'll put this last. All right, awesome. If you wanted to caption these things, you certainly could. I don't bother, okay? Awesome. So now those are in the order I want, and we're gonna go ahead and post. I'm just gonna double check everything. This. Just a couple cosmetic things. All right, awesome. So I think only one thing left for me to do, and that is the prices are subject to change based upon availability, okay? And then under that, you might also want to put this, okay? Let's see, how do I want to word this? Oh yes, can quote different departure points number of travelers, and other resort options. Okay, just so a future client or client knows that they're not just stuck with what's here, they could still inquire about something else if they're just interested in Cancun in general. Okay, so just making it more inviting for them instead of being strict to what's here. All right, so now I think I'm happy with everything. I'm gonna go ahead and post it. And there's that. So sometimes what will happen is it will prompt a do you want a send message button. I'm going to include it because this is going to have a little messenger button that the client can click on and message you specific about this post. Okay, so now when we come down here, that will be an option for your clients. All right, and so here's the whole post. Okay, so let me go ahead and stop sharing just for a moment and take a look at the chat box. So I still have a little bit I want to get through. Okay, there's one more piece to this that I want to talk about after I get to these questions. Let me see here. Okay, some of these I answered already. What tool are you using for screenshots? So it's just a key combination on my laptop. It depends on what device you have. You can easily Google it. Okay, on MacBooks it is Shift Command 4. Okay, Shift Command 4 for MacBooks. Awesome. Jennifer, around 5 photos good? Yeah, I'd say so. Sure. Yep, around 5. You want to have a couple with the room and a couple with the resort. Okay. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Ja, this was done on my business page, guys. Okay, so if you have a Facebook business page for your company, you want to post your mock bookings there, okay? And now this is going to segue into my last piece about mock bookings. So, how often should we post them, right? And where should we post them? So, like I mentioned, you can put them on all of your social media platforms. In fact, you want to put it everywhere you possibly can so that it's out there to the public, right? When I post a mock booking, let me go ahead and share again, actually. I actually share the post to my story, okay? So we'll just on, sorry, there's a bunch of stuff in the way. Let me move this around. We're gonna click on share and then share to your story. Okay, now if we come up here, okay, it's done. If we click here and view it, the client is going to be able, or someone looking is going to be able to click on this post and it will bring them directly to the page. And they can see that post there. Another thing you can do is share this to groups on Facebook. That is a huge, huge way to get people traction on your, get people to your Facebook page, sorry, words, and get traction on your Facebook business page, all right? So share these into relevant Facebook groups. Make sure you check the rules of your groups, all right? So you can share them in there, or you can share it to your personal page and your personal story for Facebook, okay? Any of those are really great options to bring traction onto your pages. All right, and then in regards to how often to post a mock booking, I highly recommend at least 2 to 3 times a week, okay? It helps bring in clients, all right, because they're seeing what you can offer. That's another reason why we do mock bookings, is to show people what we can offer with a price attached, okay? With your mock bookings, you need to make sure that these are actual quality places, all right? Cruise lines are a little different, right? Because cruise lines are cruise lines. In the world of cruising, I think people have very set cruise lines that they prefer, right? So you can't really, pick quality of resort with a cruise line, obviously. Okay, so it's 2 different worlds, but with all-inclusive resorts, make sure it's quality, 4 or 5-star, good TripAdvisor rating, things like that. All right. I think that's all I wanted to share on that. So let me go ahead and see other questions that are here. What do you mean by is that allowed? I'm not sure. But any other questions, guys, go ahead and put it in the chat. All right, for those of you watching this recording, thank you for listening in, and reach out to your mentor with any other questions about mock bookings. All right, thank you so much, guys.